Welcome back class. So we were learning about the feedback system, and last time we learned uh, that the closed loop gain of a feedback system can be written as like this. Okay, that the open loop gain divided by 1 plus A times beta, and A times beta is basically called as the loop gain. Okay, so we have learned about different things: gain sensitivity, bandwidth enhancement, and the determination of the loop gain for the generalized op-amp system, okay, using the broken loop technique. Now we are going to learn about the stability of the feedback circuits. Our main objective is we want to determine the criteria. Okay, what is the basically criteria to define the stability of the feedback circuits? Okay, that is our main objective. So let's have a look at the negative and positive feedback system. So basically negative feedback system, what is actually happening? You are actually subtracting two in phase signals, right? We are actually subtracting by we are getting the error signal by subtracting the input signal from the feedback system, right? And in the positive feedback we are basically adding the input system with the feedback. Okay, so here basically you have in phase inputs, okay, and if you subtract them, okay, you actually maintain the stability. Okay, but in the positive feedback what is actually happening, you are having out of phase inputs. Okay, one is positive, one is negative. Okay, and because they are out of phase, when you add them, so basically it affects the stability of the system. And the main thing which actually determines the stability of the feedback circuit is the loop gain. Okay, it is not the like the open loop gain or the feedback transfer function. It's the loop gain which actually determines the stability of a system. And last time I briefly touched this thing, that basically the internal characteristics of the op amps, okay, they are actually depending on the internal parameters, for example beta, gm, okay, and basically the open loop gain, okay, depends on these parameters and the like the capacitance values and the other components like. So it means basically your closed loop transfer function, it will be depending on, it's a frequency dependent parameter. Okay, it is a basically frequency dependent parameters, or we can write this as 1 plus tau of f. Okay, so basically loop gain depends on frequency. So depending on frequency, basically in phase signal could become out of phase, okay, which may becomes the cause of the instability of the system. So for that reason we will be putting more focus on the examining of the characteristics of the loop gain. So let's have a look. So as I said earlier, we can actually write the closed loop gain in the form of the frequency dependency. Okay, so like in S domain we can write this AF as our open loop gain divided by 1 plus beta A of S. Okay, or let me write it here. We can replace S with j omega, right? So it will be j omega A of j omega 1 plus loop gain of j omega. Okay, so the criteria for the stability of a system is that we check two things. We check the magnitude of this loop gain, okay, and we check the phase of this loop gain. Okay, so the criteria is if the magnitude of the loop gain is 1, okay. Now if, for example, let's assume the magnitude of the loop gain is 1, okay, and its transfer function is, and the gain is 180 degree. Okay, So basically transfer function will become, okay, magnitude and its gain, right? That is the transfer function. Magnitude is 1, gain is 180 degree. So this is a phasor form. So if you convert to the real and imaginary form, so this is basically -1, right? So if you put -1 here, so what will happen? 1 minus 1 0, 1 over 0 infinity. Okay, so your closed loop gain will become infinity. Okay, so it means when you are having a magnitude of 1 and your angle of phase, okay, or phase of the loop gain is 180 degree, at that time you are getting an unstable output. Okay, so that is basically the case of oscillators. So this condition that magnitude should be 1 and the angle is 180 degree, it's used for the oscillator case, for the generator cases. Okay, now to make sure that our system is stable, what we have to do, we have to ensure that the magnitude is less than 1 or approximately is equal to 1, but important thing is phase of transfer function, it should be less than 180 degree. Okay, magnitude of the phase, magnitude basically the phase should be less than 180 degree. In that case our system will be stable. This is a very important condition. Okay, and if the magnitude is greater than 1, okay, and the phase is 180 degree, okay, like we are getting phase of 180 degree but the magnitude is greater than 1, our system will be unstable. Alright, so the thing is we must analyze the loop gain in frequency domain, okay, to analyze the stability of the feedback circuit, and we must meet this criteria, okay, that the magnitude should be less than or equal to 1, or and the phase should be less than 180 degree. Okay, so we can analyze these two things. Okay, like if we have any transfer function, we will get its magnitude and we will plot its phase, and then we can analyze this thing. Another way to check the stability of a system is like if we go in S domain, okay, so we can get the poles of the system, okay, in S domain. And if you guys remember, if you plot the poles and if all poles of the system are in the left hand side plane in S domain, then your system will be stable. Okay, so this is another criteria for the checking of the stability of the system. Okay, but here we will be putting more focus on this thing, okay, the transfer function, okay, in omega domain. Okay, now to further understand this thing, okay, let's have a look at one thing. Let's say that, so typically the Bode plot of the loop gain, typical plot looks like this one. Okay, that we have a maximum value, like this is the magnitude. Okay, like we have a maximum value, okay, any value, and it's gradually decreasing. For example, here you are getting a 3 dB frequency, okay, and similarly we can actually plot the phase plot. So usually the typical phase plots look like this one, okay, and it goes like this one. Okay, this is the omega frequency and this is the phase. So what is our stability criteria? That we will try to find the frequency at which the magnitude of the transfer function loop gain is 1, okay, that its magnitude is 1. So we will try to find that frequency, okay, or like f1 or omega 1, whatever you say. Okay, then we will try to find the corresponding phase at that frequency, okay, from the phase plot. Okay, and we will check that whatever phase we are getting, okay, whatever phase value we are getting. Now for this case, when the magnitude is 1 or less than 1, we will check the phase, and if this phase is, okay, 180 degree or less than 180 degree. Okay, when the phase is 180 degree, your system is stable. Okay, so we will be checking this thing, that phase should be less than 180 degree. Okay, for this case our system will be stable. Okay, and if the phase is greater than 180 degree, your system will be unstable. Okay, and if the phase is equal to 180 degree, so that will be the marginal stability case. Okay, your system will be marginally stable. Okay, and we will putting more focus on this thing to check the stability of the system. Now let's have a look that if we have a general amplifier, how we can actually plot this loop gain. Okay, so this is a typical single stage amplifier. You guys are well familiar with this case, and like this is the AC model for this case, and we know that we can actually get the closed loop gain here. Okay, which we can write like this: open loop or closed loop gain, the ratio of output over input. And if you guys remember, okay, the typically from the last chapter which we have learned that basically it can be written as k over 1 plus s over omega. Okay, this is a typically low pass filter, right? This is a typical general expression. Okay, or what we can do here, this is a, and if we want to go for the loop gain, so loop gain is a times beta. Okay, so it means basically here the spectrum of the loop gain will be similar. Okay, so just with the multiplier factor beta, right? That will be the only change. Rest of the spectrum will be same. So here if we replace s with j omega, so basically we get 1 plus j omega over j omega here. Okay, so this is the loop gain in frequency domain. Now if you want to calculate its magnitude, so magnitude basically will be equal to k, okay, times 1 over real scale plus imaginary scale, right? 1 plus omega. Okay, so this is typically the critical frequency, right? Or you can call this omega 1 or whatever you call. Okay, omega, okay, this square. Okay, so that will be basically the magnitude, okay, of this real scale plus imaginary scale, square root of that, right? And if you want to write the angle, so remember generally, like if you have a real and imaginary number, okay, let's say this is z, so its magnitude is basically real square plus imaginary square, and its angle is basically tangent inverse of real over imaginary. So same thing will be applied here. So its angle for this transfer function, okay, so let me just write it here like this. So the angle of this transfer function, it will be equal to, basically you have two things. You have a constant here, okay, and so basically this is beta k. Okay, so basically you have only real number. So if you calculate this real number, it will be imaginary. Imaginary is here 0. Okay, so 0 over real number, so tangent inverse of 0. Okay, so that will be basically 0. So angle, first thing is for the upper value it will be 0, tangent inverse of 0. Okay, and then we have negative because of the division, tangent inverse of this number. So for this number, imaginary number is omega over omega 1 and real number is 1. Okay, so basically we can rewrite that the angle of the transfer function is minus tangent inverse of omega over omega 1. Okay, or you can also write omega is equal to 2 pi f, or so we can also rewrite this as minus tangent inverse of 2 pi will be cancelled, f over f1. Okay, so this is the typical formulas to calculate the angle and the magnitude of the loop gain transfer function. Okay, and if we plot them, okay, and if we plot them, okay, So for the typical single stage amplifier, this will be the plot. Okay, so this is the plot for the open loop gain. So basically same will be the plot for the transfer function, and this is the phase. Okay, so this is our for example critical frequency. Okay, and so we will try to find whatever the phase we are getting at that. Okay, so typically what is happening for this frequency, okay, so spectrum look like this one. So at this frequency, the cutoff frequency, we have a phase of minus 45 degree. Okay, and this decay is minus 20 dB. Okay, so for this single stage amplifier, basically general transfer function again is look like this one. Okay, like j omega over omega 1. Okay, and if you get double stage amplifier, okay, then what will happen? So here basically we'll get the second component, 1 plus j omega over omega 2. Third stage we get another multiply, 1 plus j omega over omega 3. Okay, so this thing basically will affect the phase of the system, which we will see in the live session. Okay, so for this case just focus on this thing. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and we will see the like the double stage and third stage amplifier, and we will solve the relevant example in the live session. Okay. Thank you very much everybody for your time.